5763. Now, your host for Public Pulse, Floyd Whiting.
Good morning and welcome to Public Pulse. Now this morning I am joined by YO Play lead teacher and founder Grace Cannon and Aspen Grove music studio director of Raise Your Voice, Amanda Patterson, as well as student Lucy Brosma. Did I say that right, Lucy?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, right on. All right, good morning production team. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. It's Tech Week. A little tired, maybe.
Tech Week.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes. Tech Week is where you bring all of the elements of the show together. So they're long rehearsals with 30 kids who've been in school all day already. And we bring in the lights and the sound and
go full bore.
yes,
Yeah.
full bore, full show.
Now, we'll get into play, let's see, Raise Your Voice a little bit, but you led on to something that I've got a question about.
Yeah.
When you're doing a production like this, you said you bring everything together. Has everybody else been kind of rehearsing by themselves for how long?
Yeah, so we started the rehearsal process in August, and especially with a musical review, you know, a show of this nature where each number is kind of its own thing. A lot of these kids until last week didn't realize all of the songs that were in the show.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so we'd rehearse with, you know, the kids that we needed just for this number from this time to this time and try to make use of everyone's time in the most efficient way possible. So a lot of the kids were just realizing, oh, wow, this song is in this show, and this is what everybody else in the cast has been working on.
A happy realization.
Yes, yeah, yep.
Yeah. Lucy, was there anything that you were like, oh, goodness, I didn't know that was in here?
No, not really.
No? You had a pretty good general idea of everything that was going to be going on?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Now, Grace, for those who don't know, and they're listening out there, what is YO Play?
YO Play is the education initiative by the YO Theater. So it's an umbrella for all of the different programs that we run. We have several partnerships with the School District 2 and School District 1 and the Hub, and we run programs through some of those partnerships. And this is new. This is a partnership with Aspen Grove Music Studio and Amanda, which is awesome. And so to do a musical review, as Amanda said, is to bring, it's through MTI, Music Theater International, and we bring all these different numbers from all these different musicals together for one big show.
Now, Amanda, what is the Aspen Grove Music Studio?
Yeah, so that is my main gig. I opened Aspen Grove in 2018, and we offer piano lessons, voice lessons. We have a violin instructor. We've had guitar from time to time. And it's just a place year-round for kids to hone their musical skills.
Wow, so you can... now, you said from time to time. If someone out there is listening, and they're like, boy, I'd like my child to learn a very specific instrument. Do they just call you and say, do you have an instructor for oboe or something?
That has happened before. I will say an oboe instructor may be hard to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, we too in the last few years have just networked and reached out to other teachers in the community because we have great resources too. So if it's not something that I can do or that one of our teachers can do, I can generally point you in the right direction.
Now, what is Raise Your Voice? This is kind of a union of two different entities of instruction here within Sheridan, but what does MTI have to do with all this?
Well, MTI is the organization which licenses most of the big Broadway musicals.
Okay.
So whenever somebody's putting on a big musical, typically it's been licensed through Music Theater International. So they also do all the Broadway junior musicals. So when we're doing the youth musical in the springtime, we're always doing these Broadway junior shows, which is the big Broadway show sort of cut down to be a little bit shorter for kiddos. And so this is taken from all the Broadway junior shows, put into a musical review, and put out there and packaged by MTI, which licensed it. And Amanda wanted to do this show. We were so excited to partner with her on it.
Now, a musical review, this is basically almost like a choir performance, or what is a review like
Yeah,
this?
so we have some dancing. It's kind of, it's a broad, you can do with it what you want. So we're very music focused. That kind of was the first priority, was to present the music. And then on top of that, we do have some light staging and some choreography here and there, so you kind of get a taste of what the full show would be. But I really wanted to keep it simple, with a month of rehearsal time and 30 kids and school starting, and we really went music forward, and then the rest is just kind of like nice little touches.
Like trimming, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, will there be costuming as well?
There,
Did you go that far?
no. We have some, like a few little hats here and there, but we really wanted, the kids to focus on the music and the audience to, I guess, be pulled along by the theatrics and the,
Yeah.
those kind of raw elements.
Well, it's all a learning experience for the kids as well. We got to keep that in mind, right?
Yes. And, it's 15 different shows, so to change people in and out of costumes for 15 different...
Wow.
15 numbers, each one from a different show. So... the people that can make that happen, good for you. But we have so many kids that are in multiple numbers, and such a fast turnaround that to do full costuming for each one would have been a definite undertaking.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, raise your voice. 15 different performances or songs within this one large performance. Did you get the chance to choose this, or were all these kind of handpicked and they said, here's our Raise Your Voice package or something?
This was packaged by MTI. So they allow you some freedom with how you choose to cast it and how you choose to stage it. But otherwise, this was one of several that I chose that had, specific songs already laid out.
Now, why was this performance chosen? What was it about the Raise Your Voice package that caught your eye where you're like, nah, that's the one that I want?
Well, I knew I wanted to do the Broadway Junior musical review. Just give kids another opportunity to kind of either experience theater for the first time or just get to do another production in the course of a year. This one basically was just a few of my favorite songs were in it, and I chose this.
Now, Amanda, what is your background in performance, music, theater?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded one. So I have a music degree from Black Hills State University. I didn't grow up with theater though. I grew up in a really small town in South Dakota. Even our music program got cut before I made it into high school. And so I like to see it as just a series of events that just kept me going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I started out college as a political science major and then ended up being roommates and living on the same floor as a bunch of girls that were in the music program. So I just kind of got brought over to music and just loved it because I think it's something that I'm just built to do.
You're probably a lot happier than you would have been in political science.
Yes.
Right?
Oh gosh. Yeah. I like my stomach hurts when I think about that.
What could have been? Thank God.
Yeah.
That's good though. Now, what are the duties of a director taking on, a performance that involves 30 kids, 15 songs, some set changes? Just seems like an awful lot.
Yeah, I have to say that I've been living and breathing this show. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just think of some random thing. Oh, this should happen here, or we need to go over this. So it's been my life for a month and a half.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky to have Grace behind the scenes helping with emails and helping remind me, like, hey, we should probably look at this now, or we should do this. We should send out this message. And then I have to say that directing a musical review is quite a bit different than directing a full show. Like I said, we don't have costumes. I have more experience music directing. So typically there's a director overseeing the whole thing, and I just am focused on the music. But the nice thing about the review is it was that plus just a little bit more that I got to have some control and ideas over.
It's almost like a learning experience for you as well.
It really
You got to
really
kind of
has
wade
been.
out into waters that you don't generally know.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So that being said, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of putting this one together?
Ooh, I feel like I've like blocked it all out of my memory. I'm on just like tech week adrenaline and just smooth sailing now. The management, so you're dealing with 30 kids, you're dealing with different families and scheduling. We've got kids that are in District 1 and District 2, so school started at different times. And gets out at different times and is on different days. And then a lot of these kids, not only are in theater, music, but they're in sports. So we've had some soccer practices and football practices. And so just kind of navigating how we can make the best use of everyone's time and get the show put together, too.
Yeah. And generally, when the kids come together to rehearse, how long do the kids rehearse for at a given point? Because I would imagine that they can't rehearse as long as adults. And I don't mean because of like spirit or willingness, but...
Yes and no. I think that I've demanded quite a bit actually when it's come to our rehearsal schedules, just because we've had...
So little to get,
Yeah, we had just a few weeks before school started, so I wanted to cram as much in. So we had some rehearsal days, Lucy, would you say, a couple hours that some of you were there for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I had dance too after rehearsals, so I wasn't able to make all the rehearsals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because you're involved in other things as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd run to this rehearsal and then run to another rehearsal.
Yeah, there was a lot
or
of
another
that
practice
happening.
or another class. Wow, busy, huh?
Yep.
Now, when did you start school, Lucy? Couple weeks ago?
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So you've been pretty busy the past couple weeks trying to get this done. And wow. I was never this busy as a kid.
I know, yeah.
Now, in all of this, with your educational background and what you could have done with everything, why did you choose to direct like WYO Play and other organizations like that? Why this decision instead of pursuing something on your own?
Oh gosh, yeah. I am a huge fan of WYO Play, and I think in a community like Sheridan, you take note of the people that have the similar goals and interests as you, and I just hugely admire those who are doing these same sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I think in a town like Sheridan, it's great to, collaborate and work together. We provide better experiences for kids in town that way.
Yeah. Now, how does a parent get their child involved in something like this? Do I have to wait for a certain time period, or can I just walk down there and sign up now, Grace?
Yeah, I guess our schedules are still getting, still shaking out a little bit to what's pretty regular. We've got our spring musical always, so parents can look for information about auditions in April. And those happen then. This is sort of a brand new partnership, but there could be more to come. And so I think it's a matter maybe of checking the WYO Theater website, wyotheater.com, checking in with Amanda's website as well. Amanda's got opportunities all the time, so you can just reach out to Aspen Grove Music Studio in that case. And people are also welcome to reach out to me directly and call me at the WYO Theater and ask what's going on and what's coming up.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
all right.
I do know when we were preparing for this musical review, we had those few people that we had spoken to over, last several months. And we said, oh, gosh, we got to let them know about this. So it really doesn't hurt to reach out and just ask those questions and just say, yeah, I have this kid that just loves to sing and dance, and what do you have for him?
Get your name in that hat, right? Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Because you're going to be reaching in there probably lots sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. When we return, we're going to continue with the production team of Raise Your Voice. This is Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM, Sheridan.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, Visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Suicide prevention starts with everyday heroes like you. Join in on Saturday, September 17th at Whitney Commons as they walk to fight suicide and raise awareness about mental health. Be part of the movement, turning hope into action and create a culture that's smart about mental health. Funds raised at the walk will benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Find this walk and others at outofthedarkness.org. The Out of the Darkness Suicide Prevention Walk, sponsored in part by all of us at Sheridan Media.
Life is kind of what you make of it, I think. And, if you're fortunate enough to be healthy and make it doing what you love to do, boy, that's worth quite a little because you're going to be here even if you hate it.
The 5th Annual WYO Film Festival presents The Outside Circle, a film sharing stories from cowboys, Western artists, ranchers, and Native Americans who bring their perspective and way of life into the world today.
My biggest hope, I wish my people would open their eyes, change of heart, start taking care of themselves, praying, helping their kids, raise their kids, bring back the culture. So everything and that's going to be a fight.
The WYO Film Festival, September 30th through October 2nd. Get your tickets at wyofilmfest.org.
This week on the Weekend Sports Wrap podcast, it's a football-filled episode. We talk about college football, including the biggest upsets of the day, Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Then we talk about every single NFL game from Sunday, from the Dallas Cowboys looking terrible to the Bills looking like possible title favorites. So tune into the Weekend Sports Wrap podcast over on SheridanMedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
First Federal Bank and Trust formed in Sheridan in 1935 as a financially stable community bank. We strive every day to support and improve the lives of our staff, customers, and communities. Currently, we have some great certificate of deposit specials. We are also assisting you with an increased online savings rate that you can easily open online. First Federal strives to maximize your earnings. We have been your community bank since 1935. First Federal Bank and Trust. Online at efirstfederal.bank. Member FDIC.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by Eliason Financial. I'm Floyd Whiting, and this morning I'm speaking with WYO Play lead teacher and founder, Grace Cannon, and Aspen Grove Music Studio director of Raise Your Voice, Amanda Patterson, as well as one of her students and one of the performers in Raise Your Voice, Lucy Brosma. Now, in collaboration with Aspen Grove Music Studio, WYO Play will present MTI's Broadway Junior Musical Review, Raise Your Voice, at the Wyoming Performing Arts and Education Center this Friday, September 16th, and Saturday, September 17th at 7 p.m. So I'm going to come over here to you, Lucy. It's time for your big interview. Now, do you really enjoy performing?
Yeah.
Just sitting here talking with you, you're involved in this, and you also do dance. What is it about performing that you like?
I really like singing, and we do dancing in it too sometimes, and just makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like a big crowd, smaller crowds?
I don't really care.
And it doesn't matter, just
No.
as long as someone's out there, right?
Yeah.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade. Wow, you're junior high, right?
I'm actually homeschooled.
Oh, really? Right on. Yeah, a lot of people are doing homeschools now. Now, how long have you been performing for? Do you remember like the first time you were like struck by the bug?
All I know is that it was a while ago.
A while ago.
Yeah.
It was a little bit. So would you say years?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been in dance?
Since I was like 4 or 5.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you've been in there for quite some time.
Yeah.
When did you join Aspen? Are you
Aspen Grove.
Aspen Grove?
Couple years ago.
Yeah, so Lucy's been taking voice lessons for at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
But she's been involved with music for much longer. Her mom and I were friends. I've known Lucy actually since she was You were pretty little when you guys moved here.
Knee-high to a cricket, huh?
Yeah, she was pretty little, and she was always very, she was the artsy one.
Now, Lucy, what is it about Raise Your Voice, this particular performance, that you would say you like the best? Is there like a favorite song or something that you like a little bit more than something else?
I'm happy that I got Matchmaker. I got a song called Matchmaker, and it's with 3 girls, and I was super happy when I got it.
So it's just the 3 girls going out there?
Well, me and 2 other girls.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Wow. Yeah, are you a little nervous, or are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, right on. I like to hear that. Now, what was the most challenging thing about learning all this music? Is it just the scheduling time, or was there a song that you were like, boy, I just can't nail this one, and then you finally did?
It was probably just all the lyrics I had to remember.
Yeah, 15 songs, right?
Well, I wasn't in every single one.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to learn a lot of lyrics, so.
Do you spend a lot of time at home just singing in your bedroom and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to remember, okay, which one's next, right?
Yeah.
Now, so your favorite part of this is going to be when you jump up there with 2 other girls, and it's just the 3 of you, or do you kind of have somebody backing you up?
No, it's just
Just the 3 of you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be that's gonna be a good one. Now, one more time, ladies, when and where will Raise Your Voice be?
Well, I'll jump in on this. So you
Yes.
can catch this at the YO Theater this weekend. 2 performances, Friday, September 16th, Saturday, September 17th at 7 p.m. You can buy your tickets in advance at the YO box office or online, yotheater.com, or you can show up at the door and snag a ticket. Hopefully there'll be some left for you.
Now, we've got, would you say 30 kids? All those families are going to be there. So we're going to want to make sure that we get
your tickets.
Get the tickets now.
Yeah.
If you want
Yes.
to see this performance, the house is probably going to be sold out pretty quickly. Ladies, I want to thank you for coming in today and speaking with us. Lucy, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming up here and having a conversation with us. You did fantastic.
Thanks, Floyd.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, when we return, we're going to speak with Fort Phil Kearny and Trail and State Historic Sites Superintendent Sherry Sheridan. This is Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM, Sheridan.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Having your own business can be overwhelming. Harker Mellinger can make your life easier with payroll preparation, accounting, and tax services. Our fixed price agreement is set according to your needs and features unlimited phone calls and meetings for one monthly fee. Choose only the services you need, and we will tailor them to fit your business. Call today to see how we can provide you with cost-effective solutions. Harker Mellinger, 1811 South Sheridan Avenue in Sheridan.
The owners and staff at Kane's Funeral Home would like to thank the families of Sheridan and Johnson counties for choosing Kane's and allowing them to serve you during these hard times. Kane Funeral Home makes it their mission to take the stress and uncertainty out of ceremonial services. They own and operate the only crematory in Sheridan County, so your loved one is always in their care. Kane's Funeral Home. Call 673-5837 or visit them online at canefuneral.com.
Sheridan Orthopedic Associates continues its over 50-year tradition of surgical excellence in Northeast Wyoming and Southern Montana with the addition of Dr. Jory Wasserberger, a Wyoming native, and fellowship trained at the Mayo Clinic in Orthopedic Sports Medicine. Dr. Wasserberger joins a team of highly rated surgeons providing spine, sports, hand, hip, knee, and shoulder surgery, joint replacement, and more, including emergency care 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at SheridanOrtho.com to learn more.
Hi, Sheridan hockey fans. It's time for your Sheridan Hawks Junior Hockey Club season home opener, Friday and Saturday night at the Whitney Rink at the M&M Center. Come and help raise the roof as the Hawks take on the Butte Cobras. Gates open at 6:30. They drop the puck at 7:30. Admission $10 for adults, $8 for seniors, students, and military. Kids 4 and under are free. Be part of the excitement with your Sheridan Hawks at home Friday and Saturday night against the Butte Cobras as they kick off a brand new season.
Considering a big project and don't know where to begin? Wagner Ranch Services can help. Our experienced staff of engineers and equipment operators can take your project from the design and permitting phase right up through construction and completion. Wagner Ranch Services can design, permit, and construct roads, reservoirs and ponds, excavate foundations, install utilities, and more. We can handle projects big and small from start to finish. Wagner Ranch Services, 13 Industrial Lane. Give us a call at 752-2787.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by our friends out there at Elias and Financial. I'm Floyd Whiting, and joining me for the second half of the show this morning is Fort Phil Kearny and the Trail and State Historic Site Superintendent Sherry Shada. Good morning, Sherry, and welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, you're actually superintendent of another site on top of that, aren't you?
Yes.
You are busy.
Yes.
What's that other site you're the superintendent of?
The LX Bar Ranch State Historic Site.
Now, just real quick, tell me a little bit about that place out there.
It was built in 1910, and it was one of John Kendrick's ranches, and I'm at the Kendrick Mansion Trail End, so it makes sense for us to administer this site. It's not open to the public yet because it's on the wrong side of the river, so we have to cross private land to get there. But as soon as we get public access, visitors will be able to come visit.
Now, Sherry, is this a working ranch?
No, it has been abandoned since about the 1960s or so.
Okay.
And so it's not been working for a long time.
Now, do you have your team out there kind of preparing things for the occasion, when people start to show up? Will this be like a little museum?
Well, we were given enough money from the legislature when the site was donated to stabilize everything and then to mothball it to protect it.
Wow,
so stones were repaired, braces put in, windows covered with plywood, because sometimes vandals are a problem, and just to protect the buildings. And we'll clean them up before people come see them. But basically, it's what we like to call a state of suspended decay. So we won't go in and remodel or restore anything, but we'll clean it up. The cool part about when buildings start to fall apart because they're just not used and lived in is that you can see how they're made. So when the plaster falls, you can see the lath in the ceiling, that kind of thing, the construction methods. And we won't put a ton of artifacts out there because we just can't come in and pack them up for the winter and move them somewhere else off site for safekeeping. We don't have that space. So we envision lots of programs, the ability for people to come visit and experience things, pictures, text panels, things like that. But it won't be furnished like the mansion is.
Okay. But this will be a site where we can go and learn how to pack a horse or something like that, maybe.
Possibly, sure.
Or other little programs that we can do out there.
Yeah, cowboy life.
What was it really like?
Exactly.
And, those things are some of the funnest things to actually attend. So how has the summer season been at the other sites? Have you seen a lot of folks this year?
It's been busy. It started off really strong, but like a lot of places, our attendance numbers are down.
Really?
Gas prices, our grounds use is up. People are using our property, like at the mansion for picnicking and birthday parties and weddings, but paid visitation is down. And in talking to other museums across the state, they've been seeing the same thing.
And that's probably just inflation and fuel price, like you said. Folks are just sticking closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many places are actually having difficulty finding help. Your locations deal with a more specialized subject matter, more specialized types of services. No offense to anybody else out there, but you really kind of got to know your stuff when you start working at one of these historic sites, or at least be interested in learning it. Are you having difficulties getting and keeping folks?
Yes, we are very fortunate to have multiple people at both sites who have been there for years. At Trail End, our head fee collector's been there for like 26 years.
Really?
Yeah, and it's amazing, and she knows everything, but she can't run it by herself. Our next person has been there for 6 years, and now she's learning everything. But we still need more people because we're open 9 hours a day, 7 days a week at the mansion. And at the fort, my head fee collector's been there for about a decade, and they're open even longer during the summer, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., 7 days a week. We can't run it with a small staff, so you need people, and it is hard. It takes a special person who is not only interested in the history, but can communicate that to visitors, be very welcoming, interpret the history, answer their questions, and want to be there.
Yeah.
And it's a great job for like students who are off for the summer, high school or college, retirees, people who just want to work part-time, but still have this interest in our history.
And I mean, I would think that would be a job that I think I would enjoy.
Yeah.
Going out there, learning a lot about the history. Because the fort, especially the fort around here, really fascinated me. And I think it's because I didn't even know it was here until I was about 25 years old. And all of a sudden I was like, no way. What a great piece of American history right here in my own backyard. And I was just fascinated by, the wars and the conflicts and the things that happened right here in my own state that affected the rest of the history of the West. And so, yeah, I think that would be that's a state job, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we start hiring in the spring. So for next summer, if you want to work, check out our websites.
Now, you guys do you shut down or just reduce hours for winter season?
In the spring and fall, we have reduced hours. We're only open in the afternoon instead of all day. And then in the winter months, we do close down. At the fort, sometimes you can't get there because of the weather, the snow. And we just don't see enough visitation to support being open year-round. So that gives us a good chance to do a deep cleaning, revive exhibits, really do the stuff that you can't do when you're open to the public all the time.
Yeah.
So we're still there. We're just not open.
Now, what about Trail End? Do you guys have reduced hours up there as well? It almost like the exact same time frame.
Sort of, yeah. Right now, Trail End is open 7 days a week from 1 to 4. The fort is still open 7 days a week from 8 to 6. But next month, the hours are 12 to 4, Wednesday through Sunday. It really reduces.
Well, if you really want to get up there, folks, we've got an upcoming Trail End Grand Home Tour. What's this about?
Every 5 years or so, we get enough requests to put on a town-wide house tour. So in addition to Trail End, we have 3 other homeowners who have graciously agreed to open up their homes and let people come through them.
Oh, wow.
And see a different style of home.
What 3 homes were chosen?
So we have one on Lauk Street, and it is from 1901. It's a Victorian house. South Main Street, that house was built in 1895, and on Sumner, 1900. And these are all the Victorian Queen Anne style.
Describe that style for me, for the listeners who might not know.
Sure. Lots of, I don't know, you might call it gaudy, thinking, and not in a derogatory way. New houses seem so plain with metal siding or whatever. They've got all the delicate trim work and like gingerbread house kind of stuff, all the ornamental things on the outside of their home.
And homes like this are a testament to craftsmanship.
Absolutely.
Because these weren't mass produced. A lot of the stuff that's on these homes that you're going to see on these tours was handmade.
Sure, yeah. And it's a very distinctive style. And over time, some homes lose that style. They put the siding on, the vinyl siding. They take the decorative stuff off. And so it's really nice to see homes and homeowners who have taken the time to preserve this style for people to see.
Good boy, that's got to be expensive to do, though, right?
Old houses are expensive.
Yeah. Now, what rarely seen locations will we get to view at Trail End during this? Because, you and I have talked about Trail End quite a bit. I'm really fascinated by the Kendrick Mansion. It was a technological marvel at the time that it was built. and I feel like you could almost take a tour through almost the whole thing at this point. What rare sites are there?
Sure. So in addition to visiting these 3 private homes at Trail Inn, you can see the rest of the mansion, but we will open up one space on each floor that normally isn't seen. For example, in the basement, it's the boiler room. It's hard to access it sometimes just for safety. You need another person down there to help visitors not trip. It's a couple steep stairs. So for safety reasons, we normally have that closed off. On the first floor, it's the walk-in vault. That is normally closed because that's where I store artifacts that are not being used in the dining room. It's a very convenient location.
How big is this vault?
You could probably fit 3 adults, side by side in there.
Wow.
And there's shelves on each side, and at the back there are 4 individually locked cabinets with their own keys. So,
why did the Kendricks have this?
Just security, safety.
Yeah.
Important documents, silver, things like that.
A big old walk-in vault.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, on the 3rd floor, we'll open up the master bathroom. It's the biggest of the 12 bathrooms, and that's normally not open just because we're set up for self-guided tours, and it's hard to bring people into a room just for security reasons. Let just everybody walk through, and so normally you stop at the door and you can see into the room,
peek into it.
Yeah, but you can't see around the corner into the bathroom, and it's gorgeous. And so we'll have people there at every location explaining these areas, and then on the top floor you get to go to the musician's loft, the balcony that overlooks the ballroom. It's the highest point you can get. You can go from the highest point in the house to the lowest point in the house.
So it overlooks the ballroom. So basically, this is where the Kendricks had maybe paid an individual from town or somebody to come out there, play the fiddle or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Now, this bathroom, Kendrick Mansion has indoor plumbing.
Correct.
Which, how rare was it when that was
Sheridan
installed?
had indoor plumbing and electricity for 20 years before the mansion was built.
Oh, wow.
But they used it extensively at the Kendrick Mansion.
So what does the tub look like? Is it clawfoot?
It's not. It goes to the floor. It's 6 feet long. We know it's from Clout and Sons because we found an advertisement for the exact bathtub that they ordered. It's got the faucet and then so you can take a bath and also the shower head. So they had showers too.
Oh, wow.
And it's the same tub that they put in the servants' quarters, except the servants' quarters tub is only 4 feet long.
Now, nowadays it's difficult to think that when you sat down, which I would imagine with an old Sears catalog, and chose a tub, it might be 6 months.
Sure.
Before you actually saw it, right?
Yeah, it's got to be shipped here. Is it in stock at the factory? Has it been made? Has there been a labor strike? The Kendricks encountered all of these setbacks trying to build their house. And that's why everything had to come, from all over the country.
It's amazing to think, the patience that an individual had to have when they were doing a major construction project, especially, adding all these, an odd and specialized things. And just like the vacuum, I'm sure the vacuum took quite a while to get over here. I'm not sure. You didn't go down to the Mercantile and pick one of those up. I'll guarantee that.
That's true.
Now, how much are tickets for this tour, and where can I pick them up?
So tickets are $20 each. The proceeds go to the Trailing Guilds, our friends group that supports the mansion. All that money goes back into either more special events or helping buy the things that make the mansion a little extra, like reproduction ballroom cushions, for example, that you can sit on because the old ones were literally falling apart. Yeah, so they help us do that. Tickets will go on sale next week, and you can find them online at our website, trailend.org.
Now, is there a special organization that you have to order these reproductions through to make sure that they're actually pretty, honest to the time period?
We definitely handpick. For example, we used a local upholsterer for the ballroom cushions and our Murphy bed mattress, and she came up and measured everything, and for the cushions counted how many buttons were in each row on each cushion. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The reproduction rugs were sent away and the company had to send us back samples so we could choose, what matched what we had the closest. And then sometimes technology and just the way way things are made has changed. So our rugs look the same, but they're thicker than the original ones.
And on that same subject, the Trail End Guilds, who and what are they?
Yeah. Well, this is an organization of interested people, and anybody can join it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can come to our meetings if you want. They're the people who are planning these events and bringing them to you. And they're our volunteer base. So we meet the second Tuesday of every month at the mansion, except like December through March, because there's no business to discuss. And so they're the ones helping advertise our events, organizing them, providing the workforce, all of that.
Now, does the state provide you with, I guess, for lack of a better term, master craftsmen who help maintain the upkeep of the mansion itself? Because time is still ticking by.
Sure.
Wear and tear is still happening. But, this mansion was built by masters. And so I would think that would be even more rare in today's day and age. Yeah, you're nodding like, you're dang right it is. Yeah.
It's so hard. The old trades are going away, but you need people who know that stuff to come fix your old things. And so they're really sought after and really specialized.
Yeah, and I imagine they're probably not cheap, right?
And they're not always local either. So you really have to look for the right person for your job.
Now, do you have somebody that kind of walks around and makes sure that everything, the stone is where the stone's supposed to be and it's not falling off or something like that?
That would be me. And
really?
and our maintenance supervisor, who's out on the grounds every day. Yeah.
And now I keep going back to this dang vacuum every time you're here, but that's got to take somebody who really knows what the heck is going on.
Well, we don't use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
just there.
Just for looks only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does it operate?
Yes, I heard.
At least the last time you turned it on, it did, right?
Yeah, some workmen plugged it back in thinking we'd unplugged it for their job. And they plugged it in, and apparently you could feel the vibrations 2 floors above.
One heck of a vacuum on that one. Now, so proceeds from this will go to help the Trail Ends Guilds. These are the folks who are making these great programs, folks, for this fantastic site that is very Sheridan specific. That same weekend, you can also visit Fort Phil Kearny's Full Moon Fort Tours. When do these begin?
These are October 7th and 8th from 6:30 at night to 9 o'clock. They're guided tours through the fort. The 6:30 tours will be more child-friendly. After that, I mean, you can't make this history up, and the facts are really grim. And they'll be more plainly stated as the night goes on, the darker it gets.
The censorship will be wiped away.
Sort of. Yeah. And sometimes it's kind of graphic, the history. So we'll tame it down for little ears at 6:30. But after that, that's what it is.
Now, this has been on a 3-year hiatus. Have people been really asking for this to return?
Yes.
This was a big event every year.
Yeah, it would sell out. I mean, I went almost every year as a spectator, having no idea that someday I would be putting this event on and working there. And so I've only seen it from one side. So now on the planning side, it's very different. But people have been asking for it. They want to come out.
Yeah.
They like it.
And I can remember I went out there and covered it for a newspaper one day. And instantly I was like, oh, I got to get my kid out here.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to be there to experience it because you get the actors who go out there, the volunteers who step up to do this every year. They create such an atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And it's really hard in this day and age for folks to put themselves in the boots of the soldiers and the families that were out there.
Yes, you nailed it. That is exactly the feel we're going for. They were so isolated and far away from everything they knew, and they're in this land that, the government said it's fine. There's a treaty, no problem. No, there's already
problem.
Yeah, lots of people here who already live here and don't want the army there. And so those daily battles, little attacks, skirmishes, it was just a way of life. And they're only here for 2 years. But I think it would be a very intense 2 years.
Yeah.
And just the isolated, eerie feeling, especially at night. And we do this on the weekend closest to the full moon. And so you get some of that light, but it's still dark out there.
Absolutely. And to think that you manning a wall where if you were to see a large force come over that hill or even just, wolves, all kinds of things, a threat all the time.
Yeah.
There's no help coming.
It's like you know what we're going to say already.
Well, it made that much of an impact on me. To sit there and look at that moon and then look out into that field, basically standing where a soldier had stood before and thinking to myself, there's no one. There's no one coming. So we're out here alone. And some of the stories that are told by some of these fantastic actors, those people really step it up every year.
They do, and this year we're working with the Trident Theater Company out of Sheridan. They have put this event on with the Fort 2 years before. They're coming back this year to help us, and we also have our reenactors that are also helping. But Trident is coming in, and they're just going to help us set the tone and bring this program back to life.
And the only reason we had a hiatus was COVID.
COVID for 2 years, but the year before that, it was too cold for the actors to be out. It was too cold for actors to be out there for 4 hours.
Yeah, I could understand that because, I can remember one setup, 2 actors and just a little tiny fire. Yeah. And I thought, wow, they're lucky.
They're
the lucky ones.
Fire.
They got that little fire out there. Now, how much are tickets for this one?
Tickets are $10 per person, ages 12 and up. 11 and under are free. You can buy them by either calling the Fort or going to fortphilcarney.com.
Now, does this benefit a cause or an organization as well?
Yes, this goes to the Fort's Friends groups, the Bozeman Trail Association and the Kearney Frontier Regulars.
And so, the regulars. These are
the reenactors.
The individuals who go out there for like the bigger shows.
Yes.
And actually maintain like the cannon and the weaponry for the time period.
Exactly.
Now, one more time, Sherry, go ahead and give me the start times and where to pick up tickets for each of these.
Okay. So at the Fort for Full Moon Tours, October 7th and 8th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., tickets are $10 each, and you can find them online at fortphilcarney.com or by calling the Fort. At the Mansion, you can find tickets for sale next week at the website, trailend.org. That tour is from 12 to 4 on Saturday, October 8th.
And these tickets sell out quick, folks. And I can't say anything about the Mansion tours, but I can testify that the Full Moon Fort tours are definitely worth your time, worth going out there. Sherry, is this going to be our last big hoorah before we reduce the hours? Because I know we've got Christmas coming up at the Mansion.
Right. So at the Mansion, no, we still have events. We have our holiday open house at the beginning of December, our guided tours with actors at the Mansion mid-December. At the Fort, we've got Full Moon Fort and then a talk on December 21st, which is the anniversary of the Fetterman fight. But also at the Fort, really quickly, this Sunday, you can go on a cemetery tour. So just meet at the Visitor Center on this Sunday at 2 o'clock. Site admission of $4 applies, and you get a guided cemetery tour.
Sherry, thank you so much for coming in and talking with me today. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, you've been listening to Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
At Stifel, our focus is on you